Lesson 7-2, multiplying fractions, and in this lesson you learn to multiply fractions. When are you ever going to use this? Knowing how to multiply fractions can help you make half batches of chocolate chip cookies. Okay, let's take a look at this example. Do you know what your blood type is? Okay, the human body can contain any one of 4 different blood types. Suppose the employees of a very large company have the fractions of blood types shown in the table. Okay, so you have blood type A 2/5, blood type B 1/10, blood type AB 1/20th of the people in the company have this, and blood type O is 9/20th. Okay, so if 1/2 of the company's employees donate blood, what fraction will donate type A blood? Okay, so if 1/2 donates blood, what fraction will have type A blood? That's our problem. So in this case, we need to find 2/5 of 1/2. And the word of in math is always translated as a multiplication, okay, operation. So of is always translated as multiplication. So you need to find 2/5 of 1/2, which means 2/5 times 1/2. So let's use the first model. Let's use a model, the first method, I'm sorry, by using a model. So we need to separate the rectangle into halves. Okay, then color 1/2 of the rectangle blue. So that's blue enough. So we colored 1/2 blue. Then the next step, separate the rectangle into fifths and color 2/5 of the rectangle yellow. So first, let me put that blue that we colored in the first part. Put it exactly right there. And then we need to separate the rectangle into fifths, which we just did. Okay, and color 2/5 of the rectangle yellow. So this is now 2/5 of our rectangle yellow. 2 parts are green, 10 parts in all. So 2 parts are green. It doesn't look green, but we'll pretend it's green. This is the green part right here. Okay, so 2 parts are green. Okay, 10 parts in all. So 2 out of 10 are green. So when you talk about 2/5 times 1/2, 2/5 times 1/2 using models would be equal to 2/10 or 1/5. Okay, since 2 out of 10 parts are green, the product is 2/10 or 1/5. The second rule is probably a lot simpler because you don't need to create a model. This is simply using a rule. Okay, the rule is this. Okay, the rule is simply this. And this is the rule. Find the product by multiplying the numerators and multiplying the denominators. Okay, so you have 2/5 times 1/2 equals 2 times 1 all over 5 times 2. You multiply the numerators and you multiply the denominators. You'll have a product of 2/10 or 1/5 in simplest form. So 1/5 of the company's employees will donate type A blood. Okay? And this is the rule that we are going to follow. You can use the following rule to multiply fractions. To multiply fractions, simply multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators. Simplify if necessary. Let's take a look at example number 1. 1/2 times 2/3. Method 1, we will use the model method. So we'll use the model method. Okay, and we first shade the 1/4 of the model right there, and then we shade 2/3 of the model. And if you multiply them where the yellow and the blue overlap, that'll be our product, which will become, okay, 2 out of 12 or simply 1/6. Method 2 is using the rule. So we simply multiply the numerators and the denominators. We end up with 2/12 or 1/6. Let's take a look at example number 2. 2/5 times 4. Okay, first we estimate 1/2 times 4. That should be around 2. So our answer should be close to 2. So 2/5 times 4 is equal to 2/5 times 4/1. Okay, because the denominator of any whole number will always be 1. Okay, and to multiply the numerators and the denominators together, we end up with 8/5 or 1 3/5. Okay, compare with our estimate, that's close. And that means our answer is reasonable. Okay, so if the numerator of one fraction and the denominator of another fraction have a common factor, you can simplify before you multiply. Simply saying you can use cross products, or sorry, cross canceling to simplify. Let's take a look at 5 9 times 34. Let's estimate first. 1/2 times 1 will be our estimate, which our answer should be close to 1/2. Okay, so simplify before multiplying for this one. So let's copy the problem, 5 times 3/4. And if you notice, 3 and 9 can cross cancel, meaning they will have a GCF which is equal to 3, and divide both of them by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, 9 divided by 3 is 3. So you simply multiply what's left. You have 5 times 1 equals 5, and 3 times 4 equals 12. If you notice, the GCF of 3 and 9 is 3, so we divided both the numerator and the denominator by 3. And finally, if we use this using algebra, okay, we'll have 3/10 times 4 over 9 equals n. Okay, that's what we want to solve. Okay, and again, the GCF of 4 and 10 is 2. Okay, and that's the reason why we divided 4 and 10 by 2. You end up with 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And the GCF of 3 and 9 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 1. Then we simplify what's left. 1 times 2 is 2. And 5 times 3 equals 15. So the product of 3/10 times 4 over 9 is 2 over 15. And the secret word for this particular lesson is Pyrex. Pyrex is a secret word. Thank you for watching.